It's Manos de Cristo, in Spanish, the hands of Christ, but in any language, an important service in East Austin that we're going to be learning today in Austin Faith Dialogue. Please join us.
Austin Faith Dialogue, at the crossroads of religion and life, a series highlighting the cultural and social interactions between the worshiping and religious communities in and around the capital city. Austin Faith Dialogue is brought to you by the Austin Metropolitan Ministries in cooperation with KXAN. Join us now in Austin Faith Dialogue.
Manos de Cristo, an outreach of the church in East Austin. Something that has been unique in its services, and it's something we're going to be learning about today on this edition of Austin Faith Dialogue. I'm Richard Thompson, your host, on behalf of Austin Metropolitan Ministries, welcoming you and our guests. We're delighted to have Sharon Hernandez, who is a grant writer for Manos de Cristo. Art Maple is the chair of the Manos de Cristo board, and Dr. Wayne Radwanski of the dental services through Manos de Cristo. We welcome each of you and all of you together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And would like to start out as the chair. Art, give us a little bit of a sense of when Manos began and something of its origin.
How it got started. Manos de Cristo was established by El Buen Pastor Presbyterian Church back in 1988, so it's 10 years old now. Mm-hmm. And it was established through a grant obtained from the Presbyterian Church in the United States, which got it off and running with the initial dental clinic, and that was the original thrust of the mission, was to provide dental services to the impoverished and the working poor.
I see.
It's grown a great deal over the years. It's no longer just a mission of El Buen Pastor Presbyterian Church. It's now supported by all the Presbyterian churches in the Austin area. Mm-hmm. The board of directors has on it members from approximately 10 different Presbyterian churches here in the city.
I see.
And environs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite a positive force in East Austin.
It's located where?
It's located on the corner of Willer and Waller Street, which is 1 block south of Cesar Chavez and 3 blocks east of I-35.
Okay. And El Buen Pastor has been a congregation that's had a history in that community.
Oh, a long, long congregation, yes. In fact, this is not the first physical place that they were located. This is a building that they bought, and I can't tell you when they bought it, but they bought it some years ago and have been in this old historic church for years and years and years. The church originally was a Methodist church.
Oh, really?
And the stained glass windows in it were brought over from Germany.
Oh, really?
And some of the windows have dates back into the 1700s etched into them.
Oh, my word. Well, that's a benefit from learning about Manos, is to learn about the sponsoring church.
Pick up a little bit of history.
Right. Sharon, we're going to pick up a little bit of information about your fundraising that you do. And tell us about the finances of the organization and how your work fits into that.
Okay. Well, Manos is lucky enough to have a lot of supporters throughout the community. We have the Austin area Presbyterian churches are all support Manos yearly. But in addition to that, we have local corporations who support us, including Dell, IBM. Samsung has just become a new sponsor of our program this year. So we are really lucky to have the support of the entire community, as well as some foundations who also give us some support.
Mm-hmm. What's your total budget?
Our total budget is approximately $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, well, I'd say that for being a 10-year-old organization with that kind of support, you're able to reach and help quite a few folks. Do you have any idea of the numbers that are involved?
We will touch somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,000 people in 1998. Approximately 6,000 of those will be through the dental clinic, and then the other 2,000 through the other services that we provide.
I see. Well, you mentioned the dental clinic as being the original impetus and the most unique service, probably, of what you've offered, and reaching proportionately more people. And Wayne, you're you're tied in with that. Tell us as a dentist what you do and what you feel about that program at Manos.
Well, I'm a member of the local dental society, Capillary Dental Society, and we support the clinic by manning the clinic with dental volunteers, dentists like myself, and from that we have sprung out what we call our care-in program in the dental society, where the overflow from Manos has, we've utilized about 60 dentists who have volunteered to have them come into their office and take care of a lot of the people that are in pain that they can't see in the clinic. So that's helped. And then we have some regulars that come down there each week and give their time in the clinic to do the restorative work and again, getting people out of pain. But our society supports it wholeheartly and have for years.
Okay, so that's a tie into the larger community, is through the dental society and the fact that not all the work that's done is done on site, but in offices like yours.
Right.
And we have a video that gives a little bit of a look at that clinic as well as some of the other services of the organization. So let's kind of pause and enjoy that.
Good.
The Manos de Cristo program can be divided into 3 areas. There's education, pastoral care, and dental care. Education programming includes after-school tutoring sessions for elementary and junior high youth, along with exciting enrichment activities like camping, swimming lessons, and graffiti paintouts. The education staff also provides a morning medley program. This is for adult women and men. This program is comprised of classes in sewing, learning English, exercise, and nutrition. Even though the program's focus is on the elderly, the morning medley is really intergenerational. Pastoral care programming's primary focus is meeting the daily living needs of the poor. The staff sponsors a food pantry and clothing closet throughout the year. Individuals and families can also receive assistance and counseling with any financial or legal matter. The pastoral care counselor goes out into the community and visits with individuals and families involved in all of the programs. This hands-on approach helps to break down the barriers of isolation and frustration that many people in the surrounding community experience on a daily basis. The dental care program is the most unique aspect of the Manos de Cristo programming. The 3-chair dental clinic is currently serving more than 250 patients each month. The staff includes a full-time administrator, dental assistant, and a dentist on staff 3 days a week. The clinic sponsors a preventive program in the neighborhood elementary schools. A grant has enabled the staff to provide cleanings, examinations, and 6-year molar sealant applications for all second graders in the schools. The majority of the clinic's patients, however, are on an emergency basis, having been referred by the many helping agencies in the Austin community. The dental clinic has a sliding fee scale payment program, but no one is ever turned away due to their inability to pay.
Okay, no one is ever turned away due to their inability to pay. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. We do have a fee schedule, but if somebody comes to us without any resources, we take care of them.
Okay, and I would think that that's, there was something in there about how many are served a month, and during that clip you were saying the number has gone up since that was produced.
Yes, they said 250 people a month, and we're closer to 500 people a month these days. We anticipate serving about 6,000 people in our dental clinic this year.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about the other services as well, but while we're still on that, Wayne, are there other, through your dental society, are there other places in the city where people who are having that particular health need, can they go elsewhere besides Manos for this?
Well, there's, Austin has a couple dental clinics that they can go to that the city provides. I feel like the Manos program is more for the working poor, the people that don't have, they have jobs or they have very little money and they don't have a clinic card. They come through the clinic and that's their place to go. Mm-hmm. And it's really worked out beautiful. It's a great location. I mean, people know where it is now. It's been there a long time, and they can have their access to care there, whether they have a clinic card or not. They're always welcome there. So that's one of the advantages of that particular location and this particular organization.
But as far as a private, nonprofit service, it sounds like to me that's pretty distinctive. I mean,
it is.
The city may have a couple of for the people who are out of work or in more poverty-stricken circumstances, but isn't that, do you know of any other nonprofit that's doing this?
Not in the city of Austin.
Really?
Not that I'm aware of. Mm-hmm. We're the only non-governmental dental clinic available.
Mm-hmm. I wonder too if the fact that it is like so much of a volunteer service and nonprofit gives it a different, if there's a difference between that and public service.
That'd be hard to, I couldn't really speak for how the city operates their clinics. I do know the esprit de corps among our people is high, mm-hmm. and everybody there knows that they're there to serve somebody, mm-hmm. and so it's a real giving and caring organization. I can't compare that to the city because I'm not that familiar with it.
Sure. Well, I just think that it's something that when you are out raising funds for this, Sharon, mm-hmm. that you find maybe interest and support because it is nonprofit and because it is reaching as many people as it is.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like Dr. Rodwanski said, it is a unique clinic in that we will serve people who can't be seen in the city dental clinics. The working poor aren't eligible for those services, so those people will come to our clinic, and I think that really appeals to people. Mm-hmm. In addition, people, I think, do enjoy, the people who do come to our clinic and can pay, they do enjoy being able to put part of themselves into the treatment that they're receiving.
How do they do that?
Because they're able to pay for part of their services.
They put their own income in.
That's right.
On that sliding scale that you were talking
right.
about.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone who is able to pay, we do ask them to make some sort of
Mm-hmm.
contribution.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that we want to also do justice to the other services that were mentioned here in the video, and we don't have time before our break to do that. But in the meantime, I'd like to also have you think about what it means to have this church support. What this does, you're a member of a church, and we're going to come back, and I think you are different congregations, but what does this do from the standpoint of your own faith? And we'll ask the people who are watching this show to be examining their faith as they look at this and say, well, how can I reach out in a way that is with effectiveness as you folks are? So why don't you folks think about that? We'll all think about it, and we'll be back in just a moment on the second half of Austin Faith Dialogue today. Welcome back to Austin Faith Dialogue, where today we are giving our attention to Manos de Cristo. an outreach in East Austin that involves several different services, and we're having the folks here who have been telling us about that and will be telling us more in this second half. We have Art Maple, who is the chair of the board, the chairman of the board, or the chairperson.
Whatever makes you happy.
And then we have one that makes you happy, I'm sure, is Sharon Hernandez, who is the Manos de Cristo grant writer, and Dr. Wayne Rodwanski, who is with the dental services of Manos. Just before the break, we were talking mostly about those dental services because it sounds like about 2/3 of the folks that you serve are recipients of that.
That's correct.
Or a higher percentage. Now, let's think for a moment about Art. I happen to have been your pastor at one time.
That is correct.
So I want the public to know that I know a little bit of the inside story of how you got involved with Manos. You retired from 3M.
That is correct.
You were finding your public service through Manos and particularly the clothes closet.
I have done a lot of work in the clothes closet. That is correct.
And then now you come out of the closet, as it were, to be the chair of the board.
As it were. As it were, yes. Would you like for me to expound upon the other services?
On that. Yeah.
Well, the clothes closet at Manos de Cristo serves, again, the same people that the dental clinic serves, the working poor, the impoverished in East Austin. We serve the homeless folk that have no resources at all. Mm-hmm. And we provide clothing as is donated to us. We take clean, gently worn clothing and recycle it and put it to good use. If I can put in a plug right now,
sure.
The things that we need most are work clothes for men, jeans, khakis, in small waist sizes, not the ones that would fit me, but something in the neighborhood of 32, 34-inch waist sizes. And tennis shoes, we need those because men come in who are working, day labor type people, and they need those clothes.
All right.
We supply children with clothes. We supply families with clothes. It's not a department store. It's a service that we offer on an ad hoc basis. We try to limit the people to 3 times or 4 times a year, once every 3 months. Mm-hmm. So it's not a department store, but it's designed to get them out of trouble and presentable so that they can go about their day.
So you find that there's your clothes are distributed quite readily. I mean, there's a big play on that part of it?
Oh yes, we serve a lot of people. I volunteer every Tuesday morning, and it's not uncommon to have. But if you add the adults and the children together, 40 to 50 people that you served in a day.
In a given day, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and there are other clothes closets in the city.
There are.
It's not like the dental clinic, which is more of a unique service. But in terms of this particular clothes service, you're saying that is it geographically you just need something in that part of town?
It's obvious that there's a need because of the clientele that we get and the numbers that show up. And it is centrally located for people in need, and the word is, we go by word of mouth. We don't advertise.
I see.
And so but it's well known, and we serve an awful lot of people, and I think do a good service to a lot of people. Get them to the point where they can be presentable and go find a job, even though it may just be a day labor job.
Yeah.
But
okay. Okay. Now, Sharon, here you are writing grants, and you're saying what are for instance, some of the foundations that have helped you?
Lola Wright has been a supporter of us for many years. The Troll Foundation, also the Austin Community Foundation. They have the Ben Willie Darrell East Austin Golf Classic, and they've supported us for years. In addition, there are some other monies that the Austin Community Foundation has from private donors, and they've helped us out as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you make your appeals to these folks, you can tell them about, for instance, the working poor as the common denominator between the clothes closet, the dental services, and perhaps some of the other services.
Right.
As that's a niche, in a sense, it seems to me, like what we're talking about.
Right, exactly.
Where the need is. You can't meet everybody's need. You can't be all things to all people. But within this particular setting, you can make a difference.
You sure can.
And has she made a difference, Art, as far as the fundraising is concerned?
A wonderful difference.
Yeah, tell us
Yes.
about it.
Well, like any agency, any charitable agency, we're always looking for money. We're always in need of money. And our finances were strained, and we still aren't flush, but Sharon has written a lot of grants that has helped us immensely. She's brought a lot of recognition to Manos through the grants that she's written, brought corporations into us that had never served us before,
Okay.
that we had never worked with before, maybe is a better way to say that. But she's made a wonderful difference in the life at Manos de Cristo.
Yeah. Wayne, could you say 3 cheers for Sharon?
You bet.
Okay.
Sounds like a great person to have on board.
She is.
Now, but here you are in your office. Where's your office located?
I'm at William Cannon and Westgate. I moved from I-35.
Okay, so you're out south of
Austin.
town. Manos is in East Austin, but people are referred from the clinic down there at First and Willow Street to your place and make their way to your office, and there you are, scheduling some time.
Right.
Is that what you would call pro bono work?
Well, I think it's, I feel personally that it's work that I'm told to do by God. I mean, I need to share my my resources. I think we here as Americans that have gifts, whether I'm a dentist or a nurse or a doctor, and I've done a lot of medical mission work down in Panama, so I'm kind of into that, and I feel that that's a calling that we're told to do, and I feel it's a sin if I don't do it. So I feel obligated to respond to help these people. But I see anybody, I'm just like them. People come off the street, and I've had pleasure working with them. So it's, it's a type of service that you do from the heart.
Okay.
And there's no other way to. There's no monetary rewards. It's all spiritual and fulfilling that way.
The word for the organization is Manos de Cristo, the hands of Christ. You work with your hands.
Correct.
And so it looks to me like you may have a sense that yours are the hands of Christ in certain circumstances, like.
There are times. But without they're wonderful because we as a society, we can volunteer our services, but we don't have to go down there and find out who needs the work. They find out, they send it out.
They
and that
can
works.
refer you.
It works. It's a beautiful setup.
Let's talk about the education. Educate us on that side of it.
Educate us on the education. The biggest things that we do today are provide English as second language classes for immigrants, Hispanics primarily. We try to give them enough skills in English so that they can hold a job. They understand what's meant when they're told to pick up a shovel or whatever the case may be. But we give them rudimentary English skills to get them started towards self-sufficiency. The other thing that we do is provide citizenship classes. Now this is a relatively new undertaking for us. We've only been doing this for about a year, I think. About a year and a half. Where we tutor people in those things that they need to know to pass the citizenship tests and become citizens of the United States.
Is your the population you serve almost completely Hispanic?
It's a large percentage, but not completely, no.
It's about 90%.
About 90%.
90%.
Well, in the education it is.
And in the dental clinic as well.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
In the clothes closet we see a slightly different percent, but that's okay. It's close.
Okay, and so and there's some connection with Sanchez School, isn't there?
We adopted Sanchez as one of the Austin Adopt-A Schools. It's a program that AISD, Austin Independent School District, has, that you can adopt a school and then you provide volunteer services as the school needs them. You may provide tutors to help children read, and we're doing some of that. You may provide judges for contests, science contests, things of that nature. In some cases, there have been cases where you raise money to provide books for the library. So it's an auxiliary of the school, really, and we have adopted Sanchez as our adopt-a school. And that's a new project for us. We just started that within the last 3 months.
And finally, tell us about the food pantry.
Well, we are an outlet for the Austin Faith Food Pantry, which was really originated by Faith Presbyterian Church down on Old Torf Street. And we serve people there with groceries every morning. These groceries are donated by people in the local Presbyterian churches in large measure. And we stock our shelves and provide emergency rations to people who have need that show up at our door.
And do you have any idea of the figures on that as time you serve?
No, I really can't answer that. Do you know the figures?
I don't know off the top of
No,
my head.
I'm sorry. I'd be making it up if I gave you an answer.
Well, well, then don't make it up.
I shan't.
Just say you serve a number, right?
We do serve a number, and it's families. It's not just individuals.
Yeah.
So if someone shows up, they may need groceries for 3 children at home, and that we don't really see. But that and Pampers, we certainly need Pampers.
Oh, really? Is this a call going out for Pampers right now?
If it's accepted as such, we'll take it. Yes.
Yeah. You know, I don't think we have well, maybe we do have a number on the monitor here. Let's see if we can show this. 477. There we go. 7454 for folks that have heard this today and want to call in.
Anybody that'd like to volunteer time, or goods, or used clothing, we'd be grateful for them. We'd love to see them.
Whatever resource people have to share.
Whatever resource they have to share.
Okay.
And I agree with Wayne. This is God's asking us to do this.
Yeah. Well, I want to say that we'll be away for a while from hosting the show. Going to be taking a sabbatical this summer. And we'll be back a time or two, but my co-host will be filling in the weeks ahead, and I'm just delighted to have been here to have joined hands with you, because I think if this is Manos de Cristo we are celebrating, that this is the appropriate way to do it. And you folks, may the hands of Christ be with you, upon you, and through you. I'm Richard Thompson on behalf of Austin Metropolitan Ministries, wishing you peace.
Thank you.